Hi family, welcome home. I have a latte today in my Owala because I was out and about running some errands. It's my Luke's coffee cup. And it's just actually regular coffee today. Today, family, we are going to look at my to-be-read pile. These are the books that I plan on reading next. I have 4 to talk about today. The first book is super pretty. It's a sprayed edge book, and this was purchased at Target. And it's called The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. And she is who wrote the Fourth Wing series, which I liked that series a lot, so I'm excited to read something else by her. Things we leave unfinished. The back says, time and distance are only inconveniences to a love like ours. This book is $32.99. And look how beautiful the front cover. So we can assume that this takes place based on these outfits in maybe the 50s or the 40s. We have a old style record machine and a dinner at sunset with beautiful flowers. This is a beautiful book. And this is actually a signed copy. So we have the author's signature. I was actually looking for a description page. Let's see if I can find one. Oh, the back is the same picture. We have an about the author and an acknowledgements page. I'll read this page here. Dear reader, right now you're holding my favorite book I've ever written. Most people would think my favorite would be The Fourth Wing, but my heart truly belongs to The Things We Leave Unfinished. Early in the pandemic, I found myself enchanted by a TV adaptation of a Jane Austen novel she never finished called Sedition. By the 18th and final episode of the season, I was livid. What do you mean our heroine and hero aren't off living their happily ever after? Isn't that the unspoken promise of a Jane Austen story? Don't worry, there are more seasons now, but back in 2020, my brain started to spin. As a romance author, I have a duty to my readers to deliver a happy ever after when writing in that genre. But what would happen if I left a work unfinished? And why would I ever not finish a story? That's the question that sparked this novel. From there, I was down the rabbit hole, consumed by a love story that starts in World War II Britain and spans across generations into the modern day. It goes on from there, so that's the basis of our story. And it looks like it's written through letters between our main characters. So I'm excited to read this one. I love a historical fiction. That is a genre that I always love. And I like Rebecca's style of writing, so this should be really, really a good one. Our next book is The London Bookshop Affair. The London Bookshop Affair, written by Louise Fane. And this is another historical fiction, a novel of the Cold War, it says. The back blurb reads, London, 1962. The world is teetering on the brink of nuclear war. But life must go on. Cecilia longs for a career, but with no connections or qualifications. She passes her time working at a dusty bookshop on the Strand. The day a handsome American enters the shop, she thinks she may have found her way out of the monotony. Just as the excitement of the budding relationship engulfs her, a devastating secret draws Cecilia into the murky world of espionage. And then France, 1943. A 20-year-old, Anya Moreau, was dropped behind enemy lines. Too afraid, the resistance in occupied France sending messages back to London via wireless transmitter. She was cruelly betrayed. Evidence of her legacy and the truth of her actions were buried by a wartime injustice. As Cecilia learns more of Anya and her unexpected connection to the undercover agent, she becomes increasingly aware of furious efforts, both past and present, to protect state secrets. With her newly formed romance taking a surprising turn, and the world on the verge of nuclear annihilation, Cecilia must risk everything she holds dear in the name of justice. So, another historical genre, historical fiction, which I really do love. Something about the joys and triumphs of fiction within the world of nonfiction that I find endearing. Our next book is The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. I have read a few of her books and they're always really interesting. She writes mysteries and it's fun to try to figure out who has done the deed in her books. The Midnight Feast. The cover on this one is so pretty with the lanterns. It says it's a New York Times bestseller. Let's see if the cover. No, cover's plain without the dust covering. The back says, "Welcome to the opening weekend of the Manor, a luxury resort built on top of old secrets in an ancient forest. The founder, the husband, the mystery guest, the kitchen help. Everyone has an agenda, everyone has a past, but not everyone will survive the midnight feast." So that's interesting. It really draws you in pretty quickly. So this is another of my to be read, and I'll soon do a rating of my various books I'm reading right now. So far, I think I've read 15 in 2026, but I probably won't rate all of them. And our last book for today is Persephone's Curse. There's a beautiful picture with a pomegranate and flowers, which Persephone, of course, is a goddess that would love flowers. It's by Katrina Lino. Enchanting and irresistible, this book is pure magic. Persephone's Curse. Every family has their myths, their stories, passed down from generation to generation. Ours, the Farthing girls, are descended from Persephone, are the children of the in-between. 1 foot in this world and 1 foot in another. And while it's hard to tell the truth of something, it feels real, doesn't it? So it sounds like it's got a little bit of mystery as well. I got this book from a small bookshop, and it's funny. The cover does not seem to fit the book, and I'm not sure why. Are the 4 Farthing sisters really descended from Persephone? This is what their aunt has always told them. The women in their family can trace their lineage right back to the queen of the underworld. And maybe she's right, because the girls do have a ghost in the attic of their Manhattan brownstone. A kind and gentle ghost named Henry, who only they can see. When one of the sisters falls in love with the ghost and another banishes him to the underworld, the sisters are faced with even bigger questions about who they are. If they really are related to Persephone, and they really are a bit of magic, then perhaps it's up to them to save Henry, to save the world, and to save each other. A magical and atmospheric love letter to New York City, to family, and to the secrets we keep from one another. Oh man, that sounds so interesting. My second favorite genre has to be mythology. It's just a bedtime story for weird sisters. I love that. I myself am just a weird sister. This is a pretty book, even without the cover. Sorry about that, the heat's kicking on. So this is our 4th to be read in the coming weeks. And I'm excited about to see if there's anything else interesting inside here that we want to check out. The author has written quite a few other stories and shows. Let's see what the first page says. My mother has only seen the ghost once, and that was 14 years ago. If we asked her about it now, she'd dismiss it as a labor-induced hallucination, the result of immense pain and no drugs. A home birth that she decided to have for her 4th and final daughter. Since she'd done the hospital 3 times before, considered herself something of a pro, and wanted to try something different. But we knew the truth. What's the truth? What is the truth, I wonder? So this might be a little bit of a mystery and mythology. I wonder if they are related to Persephone, who married Hades. Day and night. Pretty typical genre, actually. Lots of stories. So we have